Hello, this is Edward Troxel, and in today's video we're going to look at the same script we've been looking at in the past two parts. In part 3 we're going to look at some of the formatting that we use to keep our program so that we can easily tell what's missing or what might be incorrect. We're also going to look at the APIs and the samples that are available. And of course, there's always a web search you can do to find more information on various topics. So let's get started. If you're wanting to learn programming for Vegas, I suggest that you start by going to this website. This is Vegas Creative Software /us/downloads, and then you can see there's a #C24726. If you enter this address into your browser, it'll take you to this download page. And there are two downloads that you want to download. The first is the download script API. The second one is the download script fax. So let's take a look at both of those files right quick. Both of these files are zip files. If we open the zip file, you will see that there is an HTML file inside there. If we double click the HTML file, it will open that up for us. And here we can see the Vegas Pro Scripting API summary. The latest version was updated in 2019. This gives you basically everything you can access in Vegas. So let's say that we were wanting to look at, say, the cursor position. I could do a quick search, type in cursor, and you can see there are all these different places where you see the word cursor. These are all under the transport control class. We have the cursor position, which is what we used in our last video. We can also see where you can set the selection start, the selection length, and then we can set up loop regions and the beginning and the length of the loop regions. There are also some methods that we can call, so everything typically will have both properties and methods, and so we can start and stop and pause the playback from our script as needed. If we do another quick search, we can look for something else we have done in here, and we've used a video event, and so we can see the video event is here, and here are how we can construct new video events. Here's the properties we can access, and here's the methods we can access. The good thing about programming in Visual Studio is that we can also come in here, and let's say that we've added this new event. So we've got my new video event. When we hit dot, we can also see all the various things that are listed here. And so if we want to look at the active takes, we can look at it there. If we want to look at the effects, we can look at it here. Scroll on down, look at the fade in, fade out, group. And the nice thing is that if we look at any of these, we can see that this one we can get and we can set. Same thing here, we can get, we can set. Media type, we can get, we cannot change the media type. The name we can get and we can set, and so this tells us which ones are read-only and which ones we can actually write to as well. So this one would be get only, for example. Then as we scroll down these, you will see that many of them will have parameters that you have to put in. So for example, if we adjust the playback rate, we have to give it a double variable of type rate and a boolean of it to tell whether or not to adjust the start. Similarly, if we have an add take, it wants us to add the media stream, but this one has what is called two overloads. So if we select this one and put our parentheses in, we can see that one option is adding the media stream. Use the down arrow, we can see that the second option is giving it the medium stream and making it active, and then the third option adds adding a name to it as well. So in this case we can call it three different ways. Then if we go back to our API, let's type in add take, and you will see that there are three different methods here for adding a take. One has just the media stream, one has the media stream plus make active, and the third one has the media stream, make active, and a string name. And then of course these are all explained over here. The return value is going to be a new take object. So by looking through the API, you can discover a lot of things about how the different classes and the different items interact with each other and what information you're going to need in order to, say, create a new take or create a new event. In the FAQ file, that zip file will also have an HTML file. If we double click that file, it will also open up in your browser, and this gives you all kinds of general information, including what is Vegas scripting, what scripting language does Vegas use, and so forth and so on. But it also gives you several coding examples. For example, how do I find the currently selected track or event? How do I set the fade type? How do I make a 1-second dissolve at the beginning and end of an event? So let's scroll down through this a little bit, and you can see the what is Vegas scripting. It's just a nice little paragraph explaining that, and so forth and so on. And then we scroll on down, and we get to how do I create and debug scripts in Visual Studio. It gives you that information here. This is kind of the information we went through in the first couple of videos that we have on our website here. Then we come down here and see find selected track. So this would return a track. Find selected events. This would return a bunch of events back, and so forth and so on. With the script we just wrote, we learned how to add a file to the track, and we use this method here. Basically, we created our new media, then we found the track that we wanted it on, then we created a new video event, then we created a new take, and then we added that take to that track. If you want the entire file, here's another alternative method you could use that's listed in there as well. So there's not necessarily just one way of doing things, but I tend to do all of my adding this way. That way I have complete control over what is being added where. And then we have things like open file dialog, where we are creating a new dialog, which we add a variable that the dialog was put into. We set the title, we check to see what the result was, and we pass the information back to the calling routine. All of this stuff is standard .NET programming, and so you can find all kinds of information about .NET just by doing a web search. So if you just want to search for literally open file dialog, one word, you can find all kinds of information, such as setting the title, what kind of results you're going to get back. You can also tell it what restrictions of which files to show, and all kinds of other information that we will describe in later videos. Another good thing to do is when you're programming, make sure that you have things formatted correctly. You'll notice that we have a bracket, and then we have scooted in several spaces. Then we have another bracket, and we have scooted in several spaces. And then everything that's at this level is at this level, but when we create another bracket, we scoot in again, another bracket, we scoot in again. Bottom line is we have to make sure that we have a close bracket for every open bracket. And so it's good that you can see any open bracket, if we go straight down, we'll find its closing bracket, and then everything that's scooted over is inside those brackets. Once again here, if we go straight down, we get to there. On this public class, it's going to be a big one. So we have to scroll down a long way, and we will see that it is right here. And then this one is even farther. It's the main one around that entire namespace. So good formatting will help you make sure that all of your code is correct, and that you have the correct number of closing brackets that go with the opening brackets, and that all of your routines stay together. So as you can see, there's all kinds of video examples out there, all kinds of, the API will let you look at everything that you have access to, and the FAQ will show you several example files, and of course we are going to show many more examples on this website as well. And there's always good old-fashioned web searches that can help you in your programming. Please sign up at www.JETDV.com and subscribe on YouTube to get further notifications on when new videos are presented.